Chris, what's happening? How are you, my man?
Good. How you doing? Everything's good. How you doing?
I'm doing real well. So you'll be here on Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. is the day of the show. Are you now doing a stand-up tour? Because you kind of you've been in movies. You were in that Silver Linings Playbook, but it's almost like I don't know if you did it on purpose. It's almost like you were laying low for a while.
Yeah, I've been doing stand-up for some years now. I started out doing stand-up before I started, for the movies, and so I'm back, to where I started, where I turned. The name of the tour is Return. So back touring. So I'm having a good time.
How you grew up in Atlanta, or you were born in Atlanta? I think you grew up around that area. What was your motivation for getting into comedy? How did that start to take roots?
People would say I was funny in high school, and I come from a big family. I'm the youngest of 6 kids, and and a lot of humor comes out of a big family. And I learned a lot. Being the youngest of 6 kids, I learned what not to do. Because I saw my brothers and sisters get whoopings. I'll be like, "What you do? Why did he whoop you like that? He tore you up." Like, I didn't take out the garbage. That was all about garbage. Daddy is serious about the garbage. So a lot of humor came out of that, and I took it to school. And my classmates was like, "You're funny. You remind me of Eddie Murphy." Even back then, they would say I, reminded them of Eddie Murphy. So I started hosting talent shows in high school, and then I got my first laugh, and I said, "This is what I'm going to do."
Do you think that part of it also coming from a big family that with 6 kids, you needed to fight for attention in a way, to get attention from your parents or other people because there were so many of them? You think that factored into the comedy that you developed and being humorous in order to get attention?
Oh, definitely, man. You had to survive. Being the youngest was tough. Like, my mama cooked, you better be up. If you're not up, my brothers and sisters will eat up the food. You wake up like, "Mama cooked?" Like, "Yeah, Mama cooked." We thought you didn't want to eat. You was asleep the whole time, And when I came along, the youngest of 6 kids, my mama was tired of raising kids. She let my sister raise me. "Get the baby. The baby's y'all. Take care of the baby. I took care of y'all. Take care of the baby." So it was tough.
Did when you started to get more and more success, which I'm sure this was a long road. I mean, people just don't make it overnight. The first that people may remember Chris Tucker may be, from Friday or even if they didn't catch you there, Rush Hour or something like that. But, you're doing comedy for a lot longer than that. When you started to have some success, how did the people, all of your siblings, did they take it in stride as you start, and the more success you get, you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars? When you have a very successful relative like that, it's hard to live up to, to what you're doing. Sometimes there can be jealousy, or it can cause some internal strife in the family.
Well, my family wasn't jealous. When they found out how much money I was making a movie, all of them just quit their job. I said, what y'all doing? They was running around singing to me, "We rich. We rich. We ain't got to do nothing." I'm like, "No, y'all ain't rich. I'm rich. Y'all better get y'all jobs back before it's too late." So was Friday the first movie you did, or what was the first movie you were in? Fridays was the first, movie I started. I think that was the first movie I started, and I did House Party 3. I did a little small role, like, probably a minute or 3 minutes on screen, and, that's how I got my first agent. I did House Party 3. Yeah, that was my first.
Did you take any actual acting lessons, or does it just come naturally because you're a performer?
It comes naturally because of the stand-up comedy, and it comes from doing stand-up for so many years. Before I got that first role in House Party 3, I was on the road for probably about 5 years before that. Or, I was doing comedy for about 10 ever since high school.
So then you make these Rush Hour movies. These things are massive. You become the highest paid actor in Hollywood at one point. $25 million he got paid for Rush Hour 3. At least that's what I have here in my info.
Yeah.
And then that was, I think, in 2007 or so, sometime around that. Then that movie came out.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you were in other stuff after that. I know you were in Silver Linings Playbook about 2 years ago. Was there anything in between there that you did?
Mostly that's when I went back and started doing stand-up because, I'm really picky with the movies, and I was trying to, go to, get something different from the rush hours and from what I've done before. And I decided, I said, you know what, I have so much fun, doing stand-up. And I went back, with the freedom of, being on stage and the realness of comedy. I went back to do stand-up just to hone my craft and to work on it a little bit more. And, the Civil Linings Playbook came around, and with Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, and Robert De Niro, and David O. Russell, the director, who directed The Fighter and Three Kings. And I said, this would be fun to do. A lot of people don't know I could do dramatic stuff, too, with a little bit of comic twist, so let me do this. But, yeah, I took a little time off, but I was working the whole time on my stand-up and back in the clubs and theaters and stuff, so it's been great.
How did you get in that movie? Did they contact you? Did your agent say, hey, here's this, we should try to get in the running for this Silver Linings Playbook film, or how did that come about?
Yeah, the agents, we told the agents to send us everything that was going, and then that was one of the scripts. Silver Linings Playbook was one of the scripts, and it was a nice little part in there. We knew David O. Russell was a good director, and he would attract good actors, other actors, and then it'd be fun to do. And the topic of the movie was really good. So that's how it happened, yeah.
Is that something that you want to do more of? Because, look, the Rush Hour movies, by all accounts, you weren't happy. You got paid a lot of money for Rush Hour 3, $25 million, but I read you weren't really happy with the outcome of that film. So now this was a little. It was funny, your role in Silver Linings Playbook, but it was more of like a dramatic role. Do you want to branch out into that? Did you feel that you were being pigeonholed, I guess, as kind of like the goofy comedy guy or whatever in those movies?
Well, no, definitely, when you do something and it works well, that everybody sends a lot of things that's similar to that. So I wanted to definitely, do something different because we did the Rush Hours and they were, they always, it was fun but I definitely wanted to do something and show a different side of me. And Silver Linings Playbook, I definitely want to do some more stuff like that and more, more different stuff. I think it's, it keeps it fun.
You have, you're not, are you married or not? I don't think you're married, are you?
I'm not married. No, I'm not married.
You have a son, right? How old is he?
Yeah. He's 16 years old. 16 years old, yeah.
Oh, man, 16. Were you, I was a terrible kid when I was 16. I mean, when I was like 14 and 15, I was stealing my mom's car. I'd open the garage door. I'd in the middle of the night, push the thing up, push the car out without starting it on, and I'd be going on joyrides with my friends and stuff. Is your son been an easy kid for you to parent, or is he kind of like I was when I was a kid?
He's easy, but I think I spoiled him. I think I spoiled him a little bit. I tried to take him trick-or-treating last year, and he didn't even want to walk. I was like, son, let's teach him Daddy, let's take the Bentley. I said, son, it's a tradition. Everybody's walking. Daddy ain't got no Bentley, Daddy. I said, oh, you got a point. Go get the keys.
That is a serious thing, though. I mean, Chris Tucker is on with us. He'll be at the Palace Theater Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. I'll give you the number to purchase tickets here in just a second. But, I mean, you joke around about that, but that's a serious thing. When you have a lot of success and you have a famous father, I mean, you're famous, you made a bunch of money. When you have a kid who grows up in an environment like that, which I'm guessing is quite different from the environment that you grew up in, I grew up in, most people grow up in. Sometimes those kids can. I mean, I've seen stuff where kids, these kids in Hollywood and whatnot, they're douchebags. They're entitled. How do you combat that as a parent with your kids?
I take them a lot of places with me. A lot of I do a lot of different things. If I'm speaking to kids, to charities, I try to take them with me, just to show them that everybody don't have it the same way. And he turned out to be a good kid. So I'm happy about that. I exposed him to a lot of stuff, and we travel around the globe together, so he sees a lot of different things, and I don't shelter him too much.
Does he have your same sense of humor, Chris?
You know what? He does. He's a little bit more reserved with it, and it comes out sometimes. I think it's going to come out eventually, though. Yeah, but he does. Yeah.
Does he? So do you think he'll ever get into show business? Does he want to follow in your footsteps at all?
Yeah, definitely. He mentioned that he's interested in directing and he edits stuff, and so I think he's going to be on the other side. Maybe do both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that Chris Tucker has been in the news for is this massive IRS tax debt that you have. Did you just have bad accountants? Is that how this happened, or I mean, what exactly? How do you get in the hole like that?
I was listening to the wrong people. That's the last time I let Wesley Snipes help me out with that. He told everybody. He told Ron Otley from the Otley Brothers. We did.
Yeah, because that's what he was doing. I remember he's going around. Goes, you don't have to pay tax. Nothing in the law that says you have to pay taxes. He was going around.
Blade, I'm Blade. Blade don't have to pay taxes. I'm a superhero.
But I mean, when you. I assume that they came to you at some point, and you got a notice sent to your lawyer or accountant or someone. At some point, someone tells you, "Hey, Chris, you owe $12 million or $14 million or whatever the number is." I mean, what goes through your head at that point?
Well,
I mean,
you know what? Thank God, right now I'm current. So I will leave it at that. That did the IRS. We're in good terms. We're tight, but they don't play. Pay your taxes. they had me like Tony Montana. I was like, come on, man, give me time. I'll go get the money, man. I'll pay you the money. Let me go on the road. The people love me. I make a meal here, a meal there. I'll get you the money, man. Okay, take it easy. Not for nothing. I'll get you the money.
What do you have beyond this stand-up tour that you're doing now? And like I mentioned, I'll be here Saturday at the Palace Theater. What do you have in the future? Do you have more film stuff? I heard that Rush Hour they may be making into a television series. I heard. I don't know if you would even want to be involved in that or not. What about that? And what else do you have moving forward?
Well, me and Jackie Chan, I would love to do something else with him. So if it's another Rush Hour or if it's something else, we're thinking about that. But we have a lot of stuff I'm developing and producing with my own company, and I have a lot of stuff that I'm looking at other stuff that, so definitely a lot more movies and a lot more stand-up because, I'm having a ball doing this. I'll never stop doing stand-up. So I'm doing more shows all over.
Did you have do you have, obviously the chemistry on screen with Jackie Chan was great. Personally with him, you get along great. You guys are buddies.
Yeah.
He seems, I've never had Jackie Chan on the show. Don't know the guy. This guy, there's something about him that makes him like the coolest mother effer on the planet. He just seems like a really cool guy. Is he like that in person?
He is, man. He has I went to Hong Kong to visit him. He has a hideout in Hong Kong, man. He's like a superhero over there. And it's like you ride, and all of a sudden you like in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden you go into this tunnel, and then it's boom, a big hideout. That was the coolest thing I did with him when I was in Hong Kong. And every night we went to a different restaurant. I think Jackie owns all of Hong Kong. Cause like, this is nice. This is my restaurant. This is my restaurant. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah, he seems like he just, I don't know what it is, but like, I love those things like the outtakes at the end of all the Jackie Chan movies. He just seems like he has such a he seems like he's having fun all the time. I don't know, maybe people can give that impression, but he just seems like he's always having fun, everything that he does, and he seems like
he has a young spirit. He has a young spirit. I mean, his guy, he runs around like he's 18, and I love working with him. His energy is great, and we definitely have great chemistry. So looking forward, hopefully we can get another one going.
This Ebola scare, Chris, is this all overblown? You've realized here, you've probably seen on the news that one of these nurses that contracted Ebola was on a flight. She was out here this past weekend, flying back and forth, could have been symptomatic. I kid you not, Chris, that the whole city here is in a frenzy, not quite a panic, but they're shutting down. They've shut down whole buildings, big buildings with thousands of people in them because someone was on not the flight with that nurse, but was on the same airplane 24 hours later, and it came out and they shut down whole buildings. Schools have been shut down. Has that entered your mind as you come here that we could be in an Ebola hotbed?
It's scary, man. It's a serious situation, and I hopefully that the whole international community get together and we find a cure for this, because it's scary. That's a real thing, and so I definitely hope we get a cure for it.
And you've been to Africa. I don't know if you've been to Western Africa. Yeah, I think you've been to Africa, right? Did you go there for some?
Yeah, I've been to like a lot of different countries, like about 15 different countries in Africa, man. I love Africa, and so yeah, it's a serious thing. It's a serious thing. Yeah.
Hey, Chris will be here this Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. show at the Palace Theater. For tickets, call 216-241-6000. That's 216-241-6000, or go to playhousesquare.org. His website is christucker.com. You have Twitter or anything you want people to follow you on, Chris?
Yeah. Follow me on Real C Tucker, and Real C Tucker, and also you can find out my website. I got a new stand-up comedy movie coming out. I forgot to mention that when you mentioned what I had going on. I got a new stand-up comedy movie that I filmed here in Atlanta, where I'm from, and it's coming out soon. We might have to come out Netflix or theaters, so we're still working that out, but it's coming out this year, or at the end of this year, or the beginning of next year.
All right, Chris Tucker. Go see him this Saturday night at the Palace Theater. Chris, I appreciate you coming on, my man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris Tucker.